Hello everyone. So we got ourselves the Monday news, and for the first one we got the schedule update for November 9th and some very important dates for you to keep note of. First off, in season 3 update will be happening on November 16th. This means that your season 2 IDs and egos will have to be sparked before this date. So if you want them now, you will probably have to go and spark them. But I also would be a little bit cautious before I do it, because this update is going to be on Thursday, which means we still technically have one more week where we could get one more banner, because 13th is one more Monday. That means we might be able to get a banner before 16 drops, which I'm hoping a little bit might be Farmwatch. So because of that little bit of hope, I would say just wait a little bit until maybe the 13th of November before you go and spark anyone, just so that maybe, just maybe, Farmwatch will come out. Okay? Alright. So now that I got my Corp out of the way, let's look at the others. First off, we're getting the W Corp Isang. I saw the kit already and is looking very spicy. Besides that, Walpurgis Night is also going to be ending soon, so if you are trying to farm Lunacy or buying Lunacy to pull your units here, then feel free to do so. But if not, then don't worry, because Walpurgis Night will come back as a quarterly event and you will be able to spark the units then. And even then, when you go to that banner, you will be able to pull a new set of Walpurgis units, and Walpurgis units so far from this first one has left a good impression on me, so I think Lunacy should be saved for all future Walpurgis Night events. Right, so that is really the main thing to take note of with this patch 9, with this November 9th patch notes. The other major changes and bug fixes are just whatever, like they don't really impact you too much. In my opinion, there's no FOMO stuff, there's no really major things here. And then you also get your 300 lunacy here, so pretty much a standard patch note. Just take note of the dates here as well as the dates here. November 16th for the Season 3 update, and November 9th for the Isang banner, which is also when Walpurgis Night will no longer be available. Right, so with that patch out of the way, let's look at this one. The guide on changes to Season 3 Battle Pass. So Battle Pass number 3 is getting a few changes. Max reward level is going to be 120 instead of 60, and the reasoning for that is because we have been getting a lot of buffs to our Battle Pass EXP, so we are actually speeding all the way to the end of a Battle Pass really fast. So because of that, P-Moon is going to raise the max cap to 120. I don't think this actually affects us too much, because according to P-Moon, they will keep the rewards and value exactly the same. It will just take you a little bit longer to get to the end of it. But honestly, I think it's just fine, because if you do Mirror Dungeon weekly, you pretty much will just get a shit ton of overflow anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. If I missed out something here, feel free to let me know. Maybe my calcs were wrong or something, but I don't think this affects you too much. Anyway, next one is the changes regarding max pass level EX rewards. This one is actually really nice. So one thing that happens in Season 2 if you buy the Battle Pass late is that you do not get any of your overflow EXP. So let's say you already grinded to 65, but that was on the free pass, and then you buy the paid pass, you only get up to 60 as paid rewards. You do not get the extra 5 levels, so you just lost all of that. And for people who grinded up to like maybe 100 something, you will not be able to get that 40 levels or so that you missed of ego shards. But with Season 3, they will be allowing you to do that, so you have no more incentive to buy the Battle Pass early. You can actually buy the pass whenever you want, and you will get whatever overflow you have grinded. So overall, just very good stuff. A very good quality of life, and allows any player to just go and pull the banner, to buy the Battle Pass whenever they want. Then they're also adding a Limbus pass package, gives you 10 levels, gives you 10 Limbus levels and gives you a special banner. That one's up to you. I don't know how valuable that banner is going to look. And then we have the dates for each story as well as each Battle Pass section. So similar to Season 2, Section 1 will open up on the 16th, Section 2 opens up on the 23rd, and Bon Voyage will open up on the 30th. So that will also be our story dates as well, so take note of that. Alright, so now the last one and the most important one, is Isang going to be good? And I think he actually is going to be very cool with the synergy that he has right now. Right, so for Isang, let's talk about what he does. Right, first one, Dimensional Slit, looks like a standard rip from W Dawn. Gain charge count. At X charge count, you gain coin power plus Y. On hit, gain X charge count, as well as on hit, inflict Rupture. So he is a charge count and Rupture character. Next, energy cycle. On use, gain X charge count, and an X plus charge count, you gain coin power plus Y. Pretty much standard leap from W Dawn as well, except you only have 2 coins here, so coin power value here is a little bit less. Do not know if they're going to compensate for that by adding more coin power, or if it's supposed to be him doing less damage compared to the other big DPSs of W Corp. Besides that, he also inflicts bind as well as rupture, charge count, and at this charge count, he will also inflict additional rupture and Z rupture count. So we got some rupture account application on this as well. He will need to hit a certain threshold and then he'll be able to apply that. So that is really nice for the Rupture gang. Rupture count is always a big thing for Rupture. You always need to have enough so that you will be able to replace that Rupture count and keep the Rupture stacks going. Now for the last move, our Rift Space is Dimensional Rift. It's only 3 coins, so it's not going to be as explosive as a Rift Space. But it has interesting clauses here. At X minus charge count, you will consume Y charge count to gain Z coin power. And then we got consume X charge count to gain Y coin power. So I think this is going to be like Ryoshu, where if you're below this X charge count, you will instead use this and gain this amount of coin power. But if you are at the charge count, you will be able to consume it to gain the Y coin power instead. So I think it lets you use your Dimensional Rift a bit earlier if you wish, giving you a little bit more flexibility. And in addition to that, we also have before attack. If X charge count has been consumed, you inflict Y rupture count. Now that is interesting because that means, right, he will be able to apply a bunch of rupture count onto the target first with this move, and then he will be able to consume that rupture count by hitting them 1, 2, and 3. So I imagine this might be 3 rupture count so that it perfectly replaces whatever he has just consumed. So that is really nice for a Rupture character. Besides that, you also apply potency on the hit on 1 and 2. And then on the third one, on hit, you inflict X rupture for every Y charge count consumed by the skill. Now that is quite interesting because that is probably going to be like 10 charge count or even 8 charge count, unless this is going to be a miraculous like 5 charge count to gain plus 5 coin power, which is going to be very efficient. But yeah, I think it's probably going to be like 10 if we follow Rip Space, or 8 if we follow Mind Whip. On hit, inflict X rupture for every Y. So that is 10 rupture applied when you do this. So that is quite interesting that he's going to apply so much potency. And then on hit, if the skill consumes X charge count upon use, you also inflict Dimensional Rift. And on kill, you gain Charge Barrier, which Charge Barrier is a shield, temporary HP, and if you have some of it left, you will also gain charge count based on the potency of the Charge Barrier. So might be able to let yourself recycle Dimensional Rift, kind of like W Ryoshu. So overall, this skill tree here is very exciting because we're getting a bunch of Rupture count application as well as Dimensional Rift application. So this is the first ID that will be able to apply Dimensional Rift directly instead of using Egos just to apply the Dimensional Rift. So this is very nice and definitely meant to be paired with Dimensional Shredder Yisam. Next, the evasion here actually is a bit interesting. Base power plus X per Y charge count, so you get a bit more better dodge. And on evasion, you also gain potency when applying Rupture for the first time with a skill effect next turn. Now, whether this is significant or not is based on whether your team is going to go full Rupture and whether or not this potency here is going to be very big or just okay, because this will depend. Because actually evading into skill 3 could be a shit ton of Rupture application. And this is very interesting. So we will just keep a lookout for this defense skill when the numbers come out. Because if it's not, then it's just a bonus, right? But if the number here is very good, that means this could be a core thing that you want to do when you are piloting the character. You will want to evade into skill 3 in order to get some consistent buffs. Right. Next is Emptied Thought. At turn end, you also gain X haste per Y charge count on self next turn, so you go really fast. And if this unit skill consumes charge count, you also apply Charge Barrier to one ally with the lowest HP percentage, so we got charge support as well. So this is all just good shit. So basically after you skill 3, that is the only one where you will consume your charge count after using skill tree, you will apply X charge barrier to one ally. So I'm very excited. This character's kit looks very, very supporty. It's not as DPS heavy as the W Dawn or W Ryoshu. The coins are like, I think 1 to 2 less here, and you might not be able to get crazy amounts of damage, but you're getting a lot of support for the Rupture gang, and even then you're also getting a little bit of charge support when you pop your Dimensional Rift. And let's take a look at Dimension Shredder, and let me talk about why I love this synergy so much. Because of Rambling Man, the passive here. At the start of the turn, if this unit took no damage last turn, you gain 4 charge count. And this is the main thing here. He basically kind of has a telepole on himself once he uses this move. He'll just keep getting charge count as long as you don't get hit. And he's probably not meant to do that because he doesn't have aggro systems at all. And he has an evasion as well on his defense. So you just keep him not getting hit, and you basically have a free +4 charge count every turn the moment you dump this. Also take note of the elements Sloth and Gluttony. Sloth, Gluttony, perfect. This is absolutely great synergy, and this is definitely meant to be his ego. Besides that, also take note of this. Successfully hitting an enemy with lower speed, inflict 1 rupture count, 3 times per turn. That's why he only has up to 3 coins. That's why he also has bind. It's so that he can make the speed difference between them very, very big. He also gains more haste here, so he gets to decide who he's going to bind, and he's also going to get to decide who he wants to rift, so that he can apply the rupture for future allies to go and smack. So that is really, really nice. He also doesn't consume his own rupture, because as long as he's hitting someone who he has slowed down, or he's faster than, because he is just naturally going to be very fast, then he is going to replace the rupture that he has just consumed, allowing him to proc a lot of the rupture count for free. So this is just incredible synergy with the rupture team. Besides that, Dimension Shredder here also will spend charge count to deal more damage. And if charge count was spent, you also inflict 5 dimensional rift. So finally, we got charge count stuff here. This part actually matters. And then on hit, deal bonus pride damage by the target's rupture times 10% of damage dealt and reduce rupture count by 5. So combine all of this together, and we have ourselves a character who can charge himself out, kind of like a telepole, replace the rupture count that he consumes. He applies a bunch of rupture count, a bunch of bind, goes super fast, so he gets to decide whatever, and will always be able to hit someone lower speed because he's always naturally fast. And then his skill tree here will also do a bit of damage here, maybe a lot of damage, I do not know what's the coin power here, but also replace the rupture count he applies with his ego, and inflict some rupture count here, and inflict dimensional rift here, and inflict X rupture for every Y charge count consumed by this skill. So we got so good synergy here. This is the ID meant for this. Finally, it all makes sense why Dimension Shredder is here, and maybe this will be our actual good rupture count support. Will he actually have some amazing numbers on his rupture count? Will we finally get a bunch of dimensional rift support that rupture count can consistently stack up to 99 rupture at all times? Or maybe some not 99, that's a bit too high. Maybe that's mirror dungeon levels. Maybe it's gonna be like 50 or something consistently for just regular battles. I don't know. This could be very, very cool. I just need to see the numbers first before we go any further. Right, so I'm very, very excited for this ID plus ego, because you will be able to run the Rupture gang with 7 section files, with 7 section Heathcliff. Right, so I think that is actually it for this. We pretty much just have to wait for the numbers. And just a reminder, let's go through again. Please remember to spark your units, or wait for Farm Watch, maybe Copium, on maybe the 13th of November. And then make sure you go and pull your Walpurgis Knight if you still want the units. Otherwise, feel free to wait until the next one. Right. Besides that, Battle Pass will be a bit changed, and Yisang looking very spicy. Alright, so that will be it for this video. Leave a comment if you are excited as well for your Yisang and what you might expect. And of course, everyone, let's keep a lookout for Farm Watch. There's still 1 more week left, kind of, so maybe, right? Maybe. Alright, so that will be it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys are as excited as I am for this Yisang, and I cannot wait to try him in a Rupture team. Alright, that is all. Goodbye everyone.